Actually, I've never said this before, but I think I can say that was like, whoa, when that
All
happened.
that happened at the same time?
I was never one for fashion or makeup. So here they do your hair and your makeup.
What?
Welcome, RuPaul.
Now, as you know, we're in the middle of a summer test run that we hope, fingers crossed, turns into a long-term relationship. FYI, I go all the way. Now, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And baby, this show is ready to pop. Now, give it up for our runway slayers, the Los Angeles Rams cheerleaders. Napoleon and Quentin, the first two male cheerleaders to dance at the Super Bowl. Come on up here, guys. Come on up. I want to talk to you. Hello. Now, you look so beautiful. Now, do they encourage you to stand out like you did? That was not planned for you to go in and do your thing like that, was it?
Not at all.
Are you just showcasing?
You know, we're entertainers, and that's what we're here to do, entertain.
Really? So are you ever competitive against him?
No, but after rehearsal, we like to, go back and forth and do little tricks here and there. Who can jump higher, who can turn the longest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, always good fun.
Did you know each other before the cheerleading?
Yeah, we did. We actually competed against each other in college.
Oh, really? What college?
Yes, Mount San Antonio College in OCC.
Orange Coast College, yes.
That's here, right? That's here?
Yeah.
In Texas. All right.
Yeah.
Aren't they fabulous? Give them a big round of applause. Let me move out here so you can slay the runway, okay? All right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, Michelle, there was a time when I could do that.
Yes.
Yes, before I had my hips replaced. I don't know if the AARP will cover injuries due to cheerleading. Were you ever a cheerleader?
Yes, I was a pom-pom girl, yep.
What's the difference between that?
I did cheerleading before that, and then pom-pom did the halftime show with the marching band. So it was this instead of cheering for a team.
Yeah, I had several inappropriate jokes that go along with your story.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it. We have to, Michelle and I, we get together, we have to watch ourselves.
We do.
And especially now because, there are a lot of things you can't say anymore.
Correct.
That we say just all the time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Just not in public.
Just not in public.
Right.
In the safety of our own home. Because it's understood that we love everything.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, our first guest has a hot new album that I love called Beauty Marks. Please welcome the gorgeous Ciara. Gorgeous, as always.
Thank you.
I love the new album.
Yay.
Beauty Marks.
Yay.
It's really good. Like every track is so good. And the song Beauty Marks, it's an instant classic. Who wrote it?
Well, I wrote that song with Skylar Grey.
Skylar Grey.
Yeah, Skylar Grey, and she also produced it. So shout out to the women, making boss moves.
Yeah.
producing, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was
Now,
cool.
during the break, we were listening to Level Up. You
Yes.
played that for me months and months ago.
I did. I played it for you. The day that I saw you was the day I was putting the video out. And so I played it for you right the day before. And so it was pretty cool. It was, you guys showed me so much love, and it was sweet to see the world react to it in such a great way the next day. And that was pretty cool.
Do you still get excited about when new albums come out?
Oh my gosh, I do. And especially with this album, because this is the first album that I put out under my own label imprint. And so,
Work!
yeah.
Work!
I'm really proud of it, and I have the same feeling that I had when I put out my first album, Goodies.
Yeah.
Where I felt like a little kid. I felt like a little kid all over again, and just being lost in the creative process and not having any inhibitions in the studio. I was 8 months pregnant when I made most of this album.
Really?
And so, yeah, and I was bouncing around my big belly.
Do you know who the father is?
Yes, I know the father very well. He is quite fine, I must say.
I guess even putting an album out is like having a baby, isn't it?
It is, you know, it's definitely, you know, it's my music baby. I will say it's not quite like the experience of literally delivering a baby, but, you know, it is my music baby, and I'm really proud of it, and it's very precious to me, my album, and the process, and it's just been incredible to feel all the love and to hear you say that you like the album
I love it.
as well.
I really do. I'm not just saying
really
that.
Proud
it's
of it.
really hot.
Yay!
Yeah. You know, as I talk to you, every time I see you, I am only focused on your nose. Is that your real nose?
Yes, it is my real nose.
It is just the most beautiful nose. Do people say that to you?
I've heard that when I was younger, they would say I had like a Michael Jackson nose when I was really young.
It's gorgeous.
But yeah,
and you're
thank
from
you.
Atlanta, Georgia.
I am from Atlanta, from Decatur.
You got to say it. You from Decatur.
I'm from the ATL.
The ATL. Where's your southern accent?
Well, it comes out when I go home. So I'm a military baby. So
You mean military?
Military.
Military.
Tell me why you say military.
Because that's how my mother used to say it.
Military. She's from the South.
Yeah.
Military. It's another way to say it too. But my accent comes out when I go home. It's like speaking another language.
Yeah.
Because when me and my grandma talk, I just have to get really relaxed, and my southern drawl kicks in like crazy. But I'm a military baby, so because of that, I kind of change my accent. I could just change up all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes people can't. They're like, you can't necessarily tell where I'm from. But when I go to Atlanta, she comes all the way out.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, earlier we talked about this beautiful suit, which is so gorgeous, and I asked you, you got your style sense from your grandmother?
Yes, my grandma.
Was she?
My grandma,
she wasn't a drag queen, was she?
She was a queen.
She was a queen.
Yes,
Is a queen.
She is a queen.
She is a queen.
She is a queen. So yeah,
What
my
her name
grandmother-
is?
Her name is Gladys Smith.
Gladys Smith.
Grandma Gladys is what we say. We're going to Grandma Gladys' house.
Okay. And you got your style sense from her?
I did. My grandmother was always into fashion. She always had a seamstress at the house making her outfits. I mean, that was pretty like next level to have outfits made.
Yeah.
You know, for me watching that was pretty cool. And when I look back at it, I'm like, wow, my grandma was like really like bossed up. She was like legit.
And a little bit bougie.
Yeah, listen, definitely a little extra, is what we say, a little extra. But why not? Like every time my grandmother came in a room, it was like you knew Gladys was coming through. And so that's how she's always been, even till this day. I took her to an event recently, and I wanted to kind of, have her go shopping, and she's like, I got my own outfit, and so she's really particular, and she's like always been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
always.
I saw you at the Met Ball. You were giving us a Diana Ross affair there.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much.
So gorgeous.
That was like Studio 54 vibes, the 2020 version of it, as we kind of said, our inspiration. I worked with my friend Peter Dundas on that look.
Oh, and, yeah, he does. He used to do, he has his own line now.
Yeah,
but
he
used to do
Poochie and Kabali.
Kabali, yes, that's right. And so all that hair, how heavy was that hair?
That was pretty heavy when I was getting it put on. And then believe it or not, it was pretty light when I was moving throughout the night. The only thing is I literally had to have like one foot to the side of me open, one foot to the other side of me open, because if someone would come around, I'd be like, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Like literally knocking people out. It's like, oh my gosh. But anything for the fashion, you got, a little extra.
Yes.
It was camp.
It was.
Yeah.
It was very that.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you are happily married to a beautiful man.
Yes.
It's interesting, there you are.
That's
You-
my honey.
You know, it's interesting. You live long enough, and the people who come into your life, it's such an interesting storyline how that works.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
We met through a mutual friend, and we met here in LA. And the first day we saw each other, it was like, yes, sir.
Yeah. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, he plays something with the football?
He does play football. He's a quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah.
Wow. See, I don't know a lot about football.
Oh, I can teach you.
I don't want to know.
You should.
No.
I think you would really love it.
No, I would. I love competition. I love people who are devoted to what they're doing and making it happen. Did that sound convincing, Michelle?
Good job. Maybe you just want to watch the players running around.
Yeah, I love that
See?
part.
Yes, exactly.
I do love that part.
Exactly.
And so now, someone told me that you prayed to find a man like the man you married.
Oh, absolutely. Before I met my husband, I went through one of the most challenging phases in my life. I was a single mom, and I'd never been in that place before, and that really made me stop and take a look back on the journey. And I was like, okay, I've got to change something up here. And I've always been a person that's prayed, no matter what the circumstance is. But when I would pray at that point, I would be very specific about what I was hoping for in my life as it related to love. And also just for me, my own growth. You know, I was ready to level up.
Yes.
In general, just
Yeah.
in life, period. You know, I was wanting a lot more for myself. And so I definitely would pray a lot. I would cry a lot, and then I would pray a lot. You know, and God is good. I did meet the love of my life sooner than I planned and kind of thought I was going to. In my mind, I thought I was going to be single for 4 years. And I met him actually when my son was 10 months old. And that was a very special moment because he came into our lives and was ready to love the both of us with everyththing.
Yeah.
He was changing diapers, you know, when Future made his first steps, he was just as excited as I was. And God is good because I really didn't know that would happen. You know, I really was like, I'm gonna be single for 4 years. I'm sitting still. I gotta just be still for a second. Let me just figure this out. And he came in our lives way sooner than I had even thought would happen. So yeah.
What's interesting, you talk about the sort of tumultuous times before. In hindsight, when you look back at that time, what do you think that meant? What do you think the lesson there was?
When I was going through the single mom stage, or just the
tough,
journey.
Yes, the
Oh
tough
my
part.
gosh! Well, you know, I say on this album, all the scars you get from the obstacles you face in life are actually your beauty marks. And I look at those.
Oh, I love that. Say that again.
Yeah, all the scars that you get from one time. All the scars that you get from the obstacles you face in life are actually your beauty marks.
Wow.
And so, yeah. So for me, I got to a place where I was able to reflect on the journey and say, wow, those moments felt so ugly and they felt like scars when I was going through them, but they actually are what has made me who I am today, and they're actually beautiful scars. They're
Let the church say
marks.
amen.
So,
Yes.
yeah, that
is
was my way
gorgeous.
of reflecting back on my journey.
Well, and it's important for all of us to look back at those times and find what the value in that was and how it allows you to grow.
Oh, absolutely. And then I definitely was like, I am not going to make these same mistakes again. I had like a lot of thoughts, you know, and I was reflecting on life because once you have a child, the level of responsibility just goes up to a whole nother level, and there's no room to experiment. I'm not experimenting with my son's life. That was how I was looking at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's very real.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
But your parents are still together, are they?
So, actually, I've never said this before, but I can say it. I think I can say it with okay within myself. My parents were married for 33 years, and they're not together anymore. However, they are both happily married, so it's good.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was also, for me, that was very out of body, too, because imagine you go for 33 years of mom and dad being together, and then when I had my child, my son, my first child, I was like, I just know mommy and daddy, that made baby is what the scenario is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that was like, whoa, when that happened, you know, in my life, because this is
all
not
that
what I-
happened at the same time?
Actually, yes, my mother and father went separate ways shortly after.
After you
Well,
had your
actually,
breakup?
shortly after Russell came into our lives. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. Was this during your Saturn returns, or when you turned 28 or something? I mean, what was
Yeah,
that
it was, like,
convergence? Why
around
did all that happen at the same time?
I was 29 going on 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys ever heard of Saturn returns?
Wow.
It's where
I've never heard of this whole thing too.
It's where Saturn returns to the place it was when you were born.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of times it's very extra.
Ah.
And I know it's very extra for me. I was sleeping
Drama.
on my baby sister's couch when I was 28 years old. Didn't have a dime to my what? Name. And and it's interesting that would happen around that same time.
Yeah, it is interesting. I do remember laying into my husband's arms because I was like, whoa, that was a reality for me. But I have to say, I entered 30 with a bang.
Yeah, yeah.
My 30th year was by far one of the best years of my life. And that's obviously as life was just continuing to grow and blossom. And my husband threw me a really cool surprise birthday party, and I'd never really do big parties. And so there was something kind of symbolic, I think, of that time, too, as you're saying. Like, you know, it's just, and like I say, my mother and father are now happily married. And I never thought that I'd be like, okay with that. And I really am. I'm happy that they're happy.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So,
Accepting life on life's terms.
Yeah.
We're going to be right back with more Ciara right after this.
I've never been trained to dance my whole life.
No, you're kidding, right?
Yeah, no, seriously.
I mean, you are just doing crazy-ass things with your body. And that's from drinking all that water and working out 3 times a day.
All right, you guys, so I'm here in New York and I'm getting ready for the Met Gala. But I have to tell you all that this week is already starting off feeling golden. I just got confirmation that Level Up is officially certified gold by the RIAA. It's so exciting, guys. I just always go back to the power of believing in yourself and always reminding myself to just simply believe. 2 years ago, it was the beginning of a new chapter for me with starting my new label, Beauty Marks Entertainment, and Level Up was the first release in that. And you guys have also shown me just how important it is to believe. And without you all support, none of this would be possible. So I want to thank you guys so much.
We've got Ciara here. We were just listening to the song Beauty Marks during the commercial break. And it just the melody sounds like the sun coming up.
Yeah, well.
And the clouds parting.
So good. Beauty Marks, actually, the song we were actually was I Love Myself. And Beauty Marks also, both of those songs definitely have the sun coming up at 2 different moments. So I Love Myself was, again, when I was in that place that was like really unfamiliar to me. And I was like, okay, wait, pause for a second. What am I doing wrong in these relationships? And I said, you know what? I thought I was going to be single for 4 years, but I also was like, I need to work on loving myself.
Uh-oh.
And to love yourself, I think, is the best thing we can do. It's the most powerful thing we can do for ourselves, because I believe that if we love ourselves, you know, then that means that someone else is going to be able to love us how we deserve to be loved.
That's right.
And we'll be able to love how we should love too. So loving myself was probably by far one of the most important things I could have ever done for myself.
And your child.
And my child,
yep.
Right? So me loving myself means that mommy's going to be good for the baby, for my son. And I think that was like the best thing I could have done. As I said in the song, I said the best thing I could ever do for me is love myself. And on that song, Macklemore also joined me, and I loved his perspective from a man's perspective about a girl loving herself, and he's also a dad. And it's just so important. It's so great when you hear men talk about that love too, and understanding how important that is. And on the Beauty Mark song, that song definitely, as I talk about the journey, you know, it just kind of like captured all of what that means for me. And on the line in the song I say, baby, when you take my hand, you show me that my scars are beauty marks. So when my love came into our lives, to love me was to also love my son. And the fact that he opened his arms up like that, you know, just said like, you're loving me. You know, he knows my journey. We talked about a lot of stuff, and so it's a beautiful thing.
Now, you know, when you did Drag Race, Michelle asked you how you were able to lose the weight so fast from having a baby, like overnight. And didn't she say drink lots of water? And what did you tell Michelle?
I always talk about the water because I was.
But you gotta pee all the time.
You do. It's like being pregnant all over again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm so over this. But it works. So I gained 65 pounds, 60 pounds in my first pregnancy, 65 pounds in my second pregnancy after carrying my daughter, Sienna. And I said, I swear, I was like, I'm never gonna do this again. And I did it again.
You mean have a baby?
No, not that. I definitely plan to have more babies. I love my babies. That's my sunshine, Cece Mama. But I said I'd never gain 60 pounds again, and I did it again, and so I was like, oh my gosh, we back here again.
Why? Because you were eating chicken and waffles?
I was eating everything. I was eating everything, is what we say. I was eating chicken and waffles. I was eating candy yams, collard greens, mac and cheese, smothered chicken with gravy and rice, ice cream and cookies. I'm like, I got this big belly, so okay, let's do it.
Right.
Like, it don't matter.
Yeah.
So I said I was never gonna do that again, and I did, and so it was pretty intense. I trained like 3 times a day.
Three times a day?
Yes.
Okay, you know that's a little ridiculous, right?
It's intense, but I wanted to do that. Like, I was like, I want to be on my thing. Like, I want to feel, I like when I'm like 4 or 5 months post-baby and I'm carrying my baby on my hip and I'm like, like moving through. Like, for me, that's what it gets me going. And
okay, and when you say workout, are you doing machines, you're doing weights?
So it's a combination of physical, it's a combination of weightlifting, cardio, plyometric routines.
Wait, squeeze me?
So that's like, it's like where you're doing like a combination of like the motion and also the weightlifting, and it's like the cardio mixed in.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's just cardio sessions by themselves, like me on the Peloton bike, just going. And so it's a combination of all that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when I was working out before, the first time I was trying to lose weight for my first pregnancy, and I was like, I am busting my butt in the gym, and I'm looking at the scale. I'm like, why is the scale it's going slow? And I feel like I'm going fast, and it's going slow. So I was like, okay. So I talked to my nutritionist, and we did my BMI, your body mass index. You do like your fat and your muscle ratio and all that stuff. And then the thing that changed the game for me was the water intake, because you're flushing out your body, and it's just this thing that kind of happens. Your metabolism starts to speed up. You eat like 5 to 8 small meals a day.
Yeah.
And literally, I would get on the scale at night, and the next day it'd be like 3 pounds down.
Wait, so the
like
water washes it out? You pee the weight away?
Rinse it. Basically.
Yeah.
You do. You get a lot of those toxins out of your body, and it just starts doing all these workings inside your body that's just like making it like break down that stuff. I can't tell you all the tech because I'm not a doctor, but I just know it works.
Michelle, quick, give me a gallon of water. Fast. Hurry.
After your 3rd workout.
Yeah.
So funny.
Okay, so
that was intense.
Now, I know that you guys, your family, you love to dance. You post these dancing videos on Instagram.
Dance parties is what we like to do.
Dance parties. Are they choreographed? Oh, that's on a yacht somewhere. Where is that?
We were in St. Bart's that day. We docked at St. Bart's. And that's us playing the Wii game. Look at Sienna. She's just chilling with her juice cup watching us. We're doing the Wii game there, Michael Jackson, actually, and singing to a Brazil song. We had just come from Brazil from this trip. And it was a really cool song. That's Future's birthday. He just turned 5. Yes.
And so you guys are just dancing all the time.
We love to dance. Our house loves music. Sienna actually has a really great coordination right now. Like, she's like, I'm ready to bring her into the rehearsal. I cannot wait till she can do some moves with me. We're going to do routines.
Yeah.
So, guys, look out for the routines coming next.
Yeah.
I was like,
how old is she?
She just turned 2.
She's 2.
Yeah, but we love having dance parties in our house.
I think it's very important.
We do them at breakfast before school.
Yes.
We do them at dinner time. Like, we just randomly do them, but it's like good energy. It's really fun.
Did your parents inspire you to dance, or is that something you just came here with?
I grew up, my grandmother loves dancing, my mom loves dancing, and my dad.
Yeah.
So me and my dad used to dance in the living room. He was in the military. When he would come back home, we'd have really fun moments. He taught me my footwork, and I had never been trained to dance my whole life.
No, you're kidding, right?
Yeah, no, seriously.
You have never been trained?
Yeah, I've never been trained.
I've seen those videos. And, I mean, you are just doing crazy-ass things with your body. And that's from drinking all that water and working out 3 times a day.
That's in my soul.
It's in your soul.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, before we go to commercial, let's make a little Instagram dance video.
Oh, I love to.
All right, we'll do our little dancing. Thank you, Ciara.
Come on.
I love this album. It is so great. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Let's go out with an Instagram dance. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Come on. Dressing up like this, things happen.
You carry yourself a little prouder. Sometimes that's your inner person, right?
Yes.
And sometimes it's just the Spanx. You just never know.
watching us right now on Fox 26 in Houston know my next guest. Melissa Radke had her hopes and dreams shattered in her 20s, and for over 20 years, believed that her inner voice was telling her she was a failure. Then, at 41 years old, she was discovered on YouTube and now is starring in her own reality-based sitcom on the USA Network. Please welcome Melissa Radke. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
How you?
This is called mom style. Mom
it?
fashion. Yes, it is.
It's fabulous. When did you find your mom style?
I think I found my mom style in about the 9th grade, to be perfectly honest
Really?
with you. Yes, I did. I was never one for fashion or makeup or anything like that. It never really came, you know, natural for me. But
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
I love it. So here they do your hair and your makeup.
What?
And everybody backstage is like, we're sorry, it's kind of chaotic. It's a busy day. And I'm thinking, I'm a mom. This is like the most relaxed I have been all week back there. It's wonderful. So I'm happy to be here.
You get used to it. You get used to people pampering you and looking after you and
That's
stuff.
That's exactly right.
But you know, it's interesting, you know, if even as a mom in your daily lifestyle, dressing up like this, things happen. It changes the whole pH balance of the room.
Absolutely,
you know?
yeah. You carry yourself a little prouder. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, sometimes that's your inner person, right?
Yes.
And sometimes it's just the Spanx. You just never know. Like right now, it's a little of both. That's why when I came out dancing, I'm like, okay, we gotta stop that because it could fold in on you.
Oh no, we don't want that at all. Now, I mentioned that people at home watching on Fox 26 know you from your YouTube videos.
Yeah.
What do you do in your YouTube videos?
Well, here's the thing. I just started putting videos on social media, and my husband talked me into it, and I told him, I said, David, I got a face for radio. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
not true.
You don't. Well, but I, because of my background, I had believed that for a very long time.
Yeah.
That girls like me don't put themselves online, right? That's for the Kim K's of the world and all this. But he said, but Melissa, people will love your personality. They will. They look like you. You know, they parent like you. They can't contour their makeup, baby, and you can't either. and so
you guys got to see this. Her contouring video.
So I'm sick to death of seeing contouring videos on beautiful 21-year-old girls who do not need to contour, who then talk to beautiful 40-year-olds like we're idiots. I want to show you how much I've learned from those contouring videos. I went from ashes to beauty, from Radke to Kardashian.
No, I didn't. You know what? I just found that women were loving them and they were going viral, and we were having a good time doing it. But the next thing you know, a production company sees it and all this kind of things, and now here we are, me and my husband and my kids and my big, loud Southern family, and we're doing an unscripted family sitcom on USA Network.
Yeah! Wow. That's great. Now, that's the silver lining to all this, but what we hinted on earlier is that at 21, you went to Nashville to start in the music business.
Right.
But your hopes were dashed by what?
Well, you know, I grew up singing my entire life. Oh, serious, look at that, y'all. Now, you got Ciara in a latex dress, but you're going to put this up of me? You know what? That's next time I come, I'm wearing latex.
Yes.
But I didn't today, so you're welcome, America. Okay, but I grew up singing my whole life. My family is very musical. And so when I was young, I decided I was going to go to Nashville. I was going to make that dream come true. Nashville wasn't my best years, to be perfectly honest.
How long were you there?
16 years.
Wow.
And I was a session singer and a backup singer for several country and Christian artists that you'd probably know if I said their name. And I think that I vocally had the chops to compete vocally, but Nashville wants you to look a certain way. And because of my size, I didn't look that way. And so they want everyone to line up and be the same, and I couldn't. Even as bad as I wanted to, I couldn't. And I tell this story sometime, and I don't do it so that people will feel sympathetic for me or feel bad for me. It just is a perfect scenario of my life there. But I had finished singing in the studio one day. They let all of the vocalists go. They asked me to stay. They asked me to cut a couple of more lines. Again, so I knew that I could sing, right? I knew that they wanted me to. But when I left the studio, there was a country artist and a producer sitting at the table, and the producer said to me, "Dang, Mel, it's a shame you can sing like that, girl, because people just don't buy ugly." And I remember,
my goodness.
I use that as an example because it's that was Nashville with a bow. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it for me. I mean, so we had children, we moved back to Texas, and it's just funny to me that I couldn't make it in Nashville, but I made it in Deep East Texas.
How about that? We're going to go to a break. We'll be right back with more Melissa Radke.
Would you like cash back?
Do I want cash back? All right. Cash back at the grocery store, ladies, is like a secret ATM that your husband has no idea about. He thinks you're buying cucumbers. Really, you're buying cheese.
That's Melissa Radke, who went from feeling like a failure to starring in her own TV show on the USA Network. Now, Michelle Visage is joining us here. Now, we can all relate to that story. We call it our time on the cross.
Right.
Where we have this horrible situation happen that turns into our resurrection, which is every human can relate to that. Michelle, you've been on the cross a few times.
Oh, yeah, and I'll probably be back there again. But it's what you do after your moment on the cross that matters. It's, through adversity, it's the grit, and that's what makes you.
Yeah, it must be so much harder, though, when you've got children and a family to deal with. I know your family is here. There's your husband, David, and Rocco and Remy.
Remy and Rocco.
Yes. Who do any of the kids have your sense of humor?
Well, okay, so here's the story. Both of our children are miracles. They're both adopted, and yet my daughter is like, I spit her out of my mouth. She's just like me, so yeah.
Michelle is adopted, and adopted children are chosen children.
We are the chosen ones.
That's
Don't
right.
Never forget that.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
And so when the dark clouds parted and lifted, was it one thing that changed your perspective on life? What changed? How did it turn around?
I had felt like I was made for more for quite a long time. And I think that there's a ton of people watching this show who feel that. But it took gumption. It took me going, I will not live this way for the rest of my life. I won't let what they said and they did, and I won't let what I overheard or what the girls in the bathroom stall said about me. I won't let it tattoo me.
Yes. Preach.
So that's what I call it. That's what I call it. I say that I was tattooed with labels: too big, too much, too loud, plus size, can't do this, dreamer, waste of time. I said, you know what? No. Every scar is a story, right? Isn't that what Ciara was just talking about?
That's what Ciara was saying. That's right.
She calls
Your
them her
beauty
beauty marks.
Yeah.
I call them my story. So what I was telling you before about my life before, don't feel bad for me. That made me who I am. And it makes you who you are.
I love that. I love that. Hey, we're going to have David and the kids join us on the couch. Can you guys come on up here?
Okay, nobody talk until you're spoken to. Please, please. Okay, nobody. Who knows what they're going to say?
Yeah, you're fine up there, David. Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like the Beverly Hillbillies have come to town. Like, next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. So we pull in last night to the hotel. We're driving up to this big, beautiful hotel that you guys put us in. And this one says, I hope nobody cares that I'm walking in without shoes. And I'm like, you know what? They do care. We all care. So
Now, have you guys already filmed the first season of the show?
We have. Comes out June 4th, and we're done. So.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see it. What we're gonna get you guys to do is we're gonna walk the runway, the whole family together, okay? All right, so come on over here. Come on over here.
You got this, girl.
You guys, come on.
Don't make Mama proud.
Yes, you got it there?
Okay.
You guys ready?
How do we walk a runway? You think the Radkes know how to walk a runway?
Yes, you do. And you can take your shoes off if you want. Yeah, no. All right, Radke.
Okay, so we just walk, like if we see a sale, like in Marshall's, that's how you want me to walk?
Exactly. Imagine you're going to Marshall's and there's a huge sale.
Okay, Remy, we know how to do this.
Okay, work the runway. Let's start some music. Yeah, you guys go on. Oh my goodness, aren't they great? Fabulous. We'll be right back after this. With Melissa Radke, who's telling a fabulous story. It's amazing. A story of resurrection, which is what we love to talk about here. Now, we've got someone calling in on FaceTime. Leah is from Phoenix, Arizona, where she's watching on Fox 10 with a question for Melissa and Michelle. Leah, are you there?
Hi, Ru. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Ladykins. You're probably burning up in Phoenix right now, aren't you?
It's actually been kind of cold.
Oh, really? So it is the end of days.
Right.
What's your question, Leah?
Well, I am a 44-year-old mom of a very spirited 6-year-old daughter.
Leah, you look great for 44, hon.
Yes, you do.
Thanks.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. Well, I want to know, do you have any advice on how to raise a young lady as a single parent?
Thanks, a great question. How to raise a young lady as a single parent? Because I mean, the rules have changed. I mean, there's with the Me Too movement, and there's so much change right now.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for?
You have older daughters.
I do. Mine are 17 and 19, and for me, because they were kind of really in the pocket of being raised on social media, and yours are too. And I monitored it as much as I could, and then it got to a point where they're 17 and 19, can't monitor anymore. So it's I think it's our job as mothers to raise them as strong women, to let them know that likes on an Instagram and what people think about them really does not matter in the big picture of their lives. And if we can instill self-love and self-confidence, then our job as moms are done.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would agree. So I try to take, now my daughter, Remy, just turned 13 yesterday.
Wow.
So
Happy birthday!
I'm trying to take a macro view, a big view here, right, of what I want her to become. And I'm not going to nitpick and die on the heel of what she's wearing or how she fixes her hair weird one day or whatever. What I want to raise is a confident, beautiful, good citizen. I want to raise a good human, okay? I don't care how much money she makes. I want to raise somebody that gives back to the world. And the best way that I know how to do that is to do it myself.
Hello.
So start here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leah. We'll be right back after this. I think that's great. All right, Michelle Visage is here. Let's talk about what happened today.
Okay.
You were saying you couldn't take your eyes off of Ciara's ring.
I mean, I was trying. Every time I looked at her, my eyes just kept going down to that ring.
God, how many carats do you think that was?
The whole garden. That was remarkable. Yeah.
Beautiful. And you were saying you had those pants, but by someone else.
Well, yeah, mine were from a company that is in every mall. And it was the exact same trouser.
Well, that's the thing, is that, you know, she said it was a chicken wings. Wouldn't it be great if Vera made Vera Wang chicken wings?
Vera Wing. I'm gonna get some Vera Wings for lunch.
I love that. She said her suit was by Vera Wang.
Yes.
But when I looked at it, I thought, oh, that's Vivienne Westwood.
And I thought, Zara. Hey. Because I had them.
No, you're not being shady.
Not
It's
at
just that
all.
the fast fashion companies take all of the designer stuff and it's there immediately. I ask people, what is that? What designer is that? They say, oh, it's from Zara or H&M or Topshop.
Yep.
It's amazing. So now, had you heard about what had happened with Future?
I had known because it's been very public.
Yes.
And if anybody's on social media, there was a lot of blasting going on.
Yeah.
And it kind of wasn't right. So
No, it was, especially with the kid involved.
100%. But the fact that she made it through the rain.
Yeah.
And look at where she's standing now.
And the same with Melissa over there. You know, it's interesting, our stories, how they unfold. You gotta stick around for the rainbow. You know, Joan Rivers used to say, you know, you have to wait, keep your fork because dessert is coming.
Yes!
We'll be right back after this. Thanks to all my guests. If you like what you see, shout it out from the rooftops. I want to spend every day with you, and your opinion matters. So I'm going to leave you with our home sleigh of the day from Charlotte, North Carolina, where you can watch us on Fox 46. Miss Xavier is an 8th grade English teacher and is slaying the hallway. Thanks for watching. Bye.